Okay, let's try that again. Hi, everyone. I'm Anthony. Welcome to Aquascaping on the Fly, Living Art Creations. Welcome to the channel where we're all about DIY and experimenting, and today is no different. I also want to welcome in number 373 and 374. Yes, that's subscribers. 2 of them from my crew from the trip I just finished today. And I'm always blessed to have the best people that I am working with. And this was such a fun trip. Part of it was a layover in Lake Washington, Seattle. And I got there, the weather was really decent for us being in winter. It was like in the high 40s, but it was a beautiful sun. And so when we checked into the hotel, I'm notorious for asking the hotel people if there's any place, if it's appropriate to like the climate or whatever. I'll always ask, is there a park or is there any place I could go collect some moss? And right away, one of the ladies behind the desk is like, oh yeah, you just go down here, blah, 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 blah. You know, there's water right there. We were so close to the lake. It was easily walking distance. But what was ironic, because I was there to collect some moss I've been thinking about doing an experiment with moss and water. So you know where we're going. Terrestrial moss and water. Yeah, we're going to make it difficult. You know, we can't make it easy. We're going to make it difficult and challenging. So today on my flight back from Seattle to Texas, I'm doing service in the back, and a passenger just asked me, hey, did you find your moss yesterday? And I kind of like, at first I was like, wait a minute. Did you know I was looking for moss yesterday? And she was smiling. And I said, wait a minute. Do I know you? She said, I was checking you in at the hotel. You were the one who asked about the moss. And I said, oh my God. Okay. So her name is Jasmine, and Jasmine was on a personal flight, and so it was amazing. What are the odds? I was staying at her hotel. She checked me in. She told me where to go to find the moss. I did find the moss, and then she was on my return flight to Texas to catch another connecting flight. That's how fun it is when you walk in faith and things like that it's not coincidence and synchronicities. That's what I love about being open to my spirituality and letting things just flow naturally. So the fun thing was I said, oh yeah, I found like about 5 different varieties. I've got some sticks and everything. I said, my luggage is full. And I said, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do a video. And I said, I'll give you a shout out. So Jasmine has had her shout out. Thank you, Jasmine. You were amazing. And then the true crewman that I had on there was Janet and Shari. And so they both got onto my channel. Well, it's not like I don't brag about my channel when I'm traveling. Because I do. And so they went to my channel. Because I do, you guys know that I post a lot of, if you're not following me on TikTok, you might want to consider it, because I post a lot of amazing sky views from the plane that most people don't ever see other than crew, because everyone has their shade closed and most people try to sleep on a flight. And I'm out there just catching these glorious photos and videos, and I just try to make them no more than like 50 seconds so I can get them on there on TikTok. And then sometimes I'll do a follow-up on our post. So always check the post section, because I do shout outs on the post section as well. So today I'm going to show you, as I drop stuff, we have one bag that has twigs in it. Oh, look, you can see right there. Twigs with moss. I'm so excited. And then I have, these are like some local little grasses. And yes, you're going to see these up close. Don't worry. So we have one, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. So I was really, really excited to find 5 varieties. Now, some of these I've seen before. A couple of them I have not. So we're truly going to step out of our comfort zone here. And what I want to try and do is use something like reuse maybe this one. So this one we had right at the beginning of the channel, and I had some small things in it, but the water never was able to get clear or non-foul smelling. So this one turned into a planter right after that. So we're going to reuse it back for water again. This is another one of my $3 bowls, and this is just like Pink Lady, which we already have on the channel, and she's a 2-gallon. And this was, of course, these are all thrifted. And then here's something I have been focused on for quite some time. I think you can see it. Yeah, this right here. You guys may remember this from an early terrarium where I did a recycled special. I took one pickle jar and 2 Madonna candles, but not the regular 3-inch diameters. This was the 2-inch. And because they were on sale at Walmart on the clearance section for 50 cents each. So I bought like 6 of them. I got 2 of them successfully cleaned out, and then like 3 I broke because their glass is thinner. But I got 2 of them, and I had terrariums in them. And I built this specifically for the 3 because you could put, one of them fit like inside here. One of them fit here. There was another piece right here that broke off. I think I put it aside right now. I kept it off because I'm going to use it for something different. And then the pickle jar sat right here perfectly. And so I was using it as a display. Well, I ended up giving the little ones away to my hairdresser because she's fabulous. And she had these macrame holders that were small, and she wanted to put something in them and display them near her window. And I was like, I've got the perfect thing for you. So I gave her those. Because you guys know, I do give away my terrariums. When I find someone that I think could really benefit from it, like as in like a family or something, I gave away the one that was the turn a fish tank into a terrarium. Oh my God, I love it. You guys know I love that one. I mean, I had so much fun with that one. But there was a really nice guy that works here at my complex, and he's got little kids, and every time I'm doing something, or if I have to have my water turned off temporarily, I mean, all of maintenance shows up. And there's like 5 people that show up all at once. They're never here to do anything. They're just making sure either I know what I'm doing, which I do because I'm a passive house flipper. But when they love to come in, I mean, they were just in 2 weeks ago because they had to paint the outside of my door. And of course, they were dying to come in and see the tanks. And they haven't seen the Rainbow Series yet. So they all came in, and they just love it. They just love it. It's so much fun to see your tanks from a new person's perspective, and they're just amazed by what's going on in them. So that's part of the drive for me, because I have so much fun. I mean, this is truly my passion. And I mean, don't say it out loud, but I'd rather be doing this than being on a plane. Not that I don't love my passengers. I do love my passengers, and I do love making fun of my passengers and having a blast, because it is like a comedy stage when I'm there, because I just let my personality loose. But this is truly my passion here, what I'm doing here and on my faith channel. So what I have wanted to do is I really want to put this in an aquarium. Now, you guys know that I don't buy any fish tank full price. And I have measured this rock. It needs to be a 20 by 20 by 20, meaning wide on each side and tall, for this to fit in here, because I want to put a nubius on the branches and make it look like a tree. Well, I can see that that's not going to happen, because the ones out there that will fit that size have to be a really big mega tank, and I cannot afford a mega tank. And number 2, there's no space in here for a mega tank. I am not going to have you guys in my bedroom. Take that as that sounds, because that's the only place that's left is the bedroom, and I refuse to have a camera in my bedroom. I mean, you know, whatever. So I know that at some point I'm going to have to seriously look at getting another place where I can have a real studio, where I can really just create as much as I want and not worry about space. So that's what I'm planning on now. But in the meantime, I think I've got a solution around this. So I had these tubs when we were first growing out plants in the terrarium side, and dwarf hairgrass. You guys remember I had dwarf hairgrass videos that really got the channel kind of popular in the very beginning. And I thought, okay, this will fit in here. And it will be deep enough to where I can put moss on this and see if I can get it to sustain itself underwater. That's the challenge. So I specifically tried to find moss that was wet. And you know, that's easy to do in Seattle. So I was looking at where it was growing. And the moss that was touching sometimes wood and sometimes rock that was just wet, the moss underneath it, the soil and everything is wet. So what I'm going to do, if there's soil attached to it, I'm going to keep the soil with it. And then I'm going to sprinkle on some of my tiniest gravel that I got here from my complex and kind of create little wedges between it so that the soil doesn't come up and, you know, mess the water up. But that's what I'm going to go for. So for the bowl, I think I'm going to try and do the same thing. I'm not going to really worry about a substrate because I might. And one of these, I might put some soil in, then with some sand, and then try to put some of this moss like you would if you were going to do a carpeting plant. Like do little sprigs of it and just put it in there and just see if any of this stuff will grow. It may just be an utter failure, but you know what it'll do? It'll give us something creative to work on in the meantime, just to experiment. You guys know that up here in Turtle in Motion is where we've got our terrarium plants. I think like 7 that we're experimenting to see if they can grow underwater. Okay, one of them has completely disintegrated, which is really kind of sad because I thought it would do really well and it had really kind of fun, tiny, tiny little leaves. It's not doing well. The one here on the end, I'm going to give you guys, I'll post an update. It's doing really well. There's a second one that I always forget to put in the update that's doing well. And then my purple waffle plant, which is a terrarium plant, is not dying. And I'm really excited about that. Now we do have the one with the curled leaves that the leaves are dropping. The stem is okay. And you know, a lot of times when you have a plant that we introduced into water that's been grown immersed, it will lose its leaves anyway, but they will come back stronger is what we're always told. Well, I want that one to come back because it's a cool looking plant. It's got a beautiful light green color, like a really pale. Okay, that's my angels letting me know they're here with me. Every time my nose tickles, okay, it happens on every one of my faith videos. Every single one of my faith videos. I always ask for confirmation they're here. And then, okay, they just did it again. Okay, so that makes me smile. Okay, so in this one though, the one that, you won't believe this, this was one of my, I think it came from, it was either, it wasn't New Orleans, but it's someplace like I'm trying to remember. It was someplace like New Orleans. It was on the water with riverboats. So there's only a few places that have riverboats that's on the water. That's a major city where we would stay on a layover. These leaves have not even gotten smaller, and it's rooting. They're sending out root shoots. So I think we may have a very successful candidate there, which is really kind of cool because this plant has remained standing straight up. The other one that had the curled leaves, it's like, it started like this and it's down like this. So it may be doomed. Maybe its stem is weakening and it's going to fall over. So, but we'll see. And I want to try the purple waffle because based on you guys' viewership feedback, it seems like no one likes the violet rainbow tank. And maybe because its hardscape to the general public is not attractive, because I think it looks like a scorpion from the movie Terminators. And I said that when I built it, and then the rocks are really light, like, you know, like the sand that would have been there, like in the desert. I don't think anyone likes it. I think I'm the only one that likes it. I like it because it's different. It's completely different. But I don't like the plant that's supposed to get purple in it because it's way too big. I mean, would have to keep cutting those things down because they're too tall for that tank. I did not pay attention enough to the maximum height. And it is truly, just putting the plant in there, it's almost at the top. So it's going to be too tall. It's not ever going to work. But This one that's in here, this last one right there, is a purple waffle plant. It's got beautiful purple colors on it. And if it grows underwater, it will be packed into that build. So I'm excited about that. So let me get some of the moss unpacked. We're going to be in the kitchen, so it's going to be a tight video for me. You won't know any difference, but for me it will, because there's so little room in there. And once Blackfish went up on the countertop, oh my God, I just lost it. I just lost all my space in there. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. I'm so glad that you guys are here. There was one thing else I was going to mention. Oh my God. So when I came in today, oh yeah, this is the whole point of my thing. I came in today, I thought, okay, I could either go to bed because I was tired, or I could go out thrifting. And you guys know I just love thrifting. So I thought, okay, I'll go out thrifting. It's pretty. Okay, let me get out. So I went to all my favorite places. One of them is closed permanently, and I'm really upset about that, because I always had a lot of glassware and unusual pieces. Very upset about that. There's no mention of what happened, and no forwarding address, no nothing. So I don't know what happened to them. I guess they just got shut down. And I was looking for more vessels. I really wanted a bowl. I wanted to find a bigger bowl today. So I didn't find anything close to a bowl or to put this in. I was looking, oh, maybe I could find a bigger pail or a pan or something to put this in decorative besides plastic, because that's what I've got here. So I went to 7 places, and I was tired. After working a 3-day trip and then immediately doing that, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I got to the last place, which I wasn't even going to go to, because every time I've gone there, it's been mostly clothing, and they have very little housewares. I walked to the back wall, which is the wall they put their accessories on. The aisle I went down, the store is huge. It used to be a grocery store. I'm going straight to the back. I don't go straight down the middle. I'm kind of like catty-cornered. And I choose an aisle that I just wanted to walk down. I go straight down, dead center in front of me. I kid you not. Guess what I found? Does this look familiar to anyone who recognizes the channel logo? The channel logo is this seahorse practically. The only difference is this coloring is a darker green than the coloring I chose for the logo, because I thought the logo coloring needed to be lighter green because the darker green really didn't show up that well, and it looked kind of like turquoise. I was like, well, there's no seahorses that are turquoise. It is this same thing. The only difference is this little span right here is a little smaller on this one than actually the one I chose. I could not believe it. $7 sitting right in front of me. I grabbed it off the shelf, looked down the aisle with the glassware. Don't want any of that. Walked straight out with my little prize here. So I was so excited that now we have our logo in iron on its own little stand, so I can put it up on one of my shelves somewhere and just look at it and envision one day that it has a medal next to it that says like 1 billion subscribers. You know, we're going to dream, might as well dream big, right? So thanks for joining me. Let me get everything reset up and kind of go through the motions of what I'm going to do with it, and then cut to what it's going to look like. And then I'm also going to throw into the video the photos of what I took during my excursion, so I would remember each one of the plants. So again, thanks for joining me, and hang on just for a hot second. Okay, everything is ready. Camera is plugged in so we don't lose power. Lighting is plugged in so we don't lose power. Anthony is behind the camera. Okay. Well, I get my little pointer. Since I can't be in the shot. All right, so here is what I gathered. Now, let's see if I can do this where I can see I need to be able to see you guys, what you see. Okay, this is some ornamental in the curb kind of grass weed. So I did pick up one of these. That's to put in some terrariums. Now I believe this came from the backside of a wooden retaining wall, and it was growing between the railroad ties. It was a retaining wall built of railroad ties. It was one of the wettest I found. So it's kind of a little hodgepodge, and it's got some little plants that were growing in it. That's why I picked this out. It was on the very top of a ledge. So I picked this out because I thought, okay, that could be a good candidate. I believe this is very similar, but this came from the ground under a shade tree. Now, the ones I was kind of really excited about really is this one because it looks so much like a carpet. We definitely want to expose this to water. This one, the same thing, but it's got a lot of soil with it. So I may put this one on that big rock that we were talking about. This one is the lightest. It came off of a rock. So this does grow on a rock. So we may want to put a rock in with this on it specifically to see if we can maybe put it on there and then put some string around it, like some thread, and keep it to the rock and see if it'll attach itself to the rock and grow. So we may need to find, I may need to go into my rock box and find some rocks. Now here's what I just found at the very end. These were twigs, and I'm going to use these just in the terrariums. I'm just going to put them in different terrariums. This is not going to go in the aquarium side. But I thought that was amazing because there's one on here. I'm going to show you. This is the first one I found. And I've never seen this one before. It's out in nature, it looked a lot more black than it is. Now, of course, under here it's green. This one I loved here, this piece here, because it has 3 different types of fungus and moss growing on it. It's just the delicate little thing. So those I can just use in a trim. Now, again, here's our vessels. Okay, so hang on. Let's put it a little this way. So yes, punch bowl. This is the biggest. This is the piece we've already used before. We're going to try it again. And this is like the little 2-gallon medium bowl that we've already got Pink Lady in. So we know this works well. And then I'm glad we're going to go with, here's how you can see we're going to do with this one. So it fits perfectly in here. It's got handles. I can carry it around. But I really want to put these in the same area under the same kind of light so I can really track their progress. So I don't want this sitting someplace where I can't see it. I do have some other smaller pieces, and I'm not sure yet how I want to use them. So what I'm going to do is get the first one I want to work on and sort of get it kind of set up and then start filming so you can see the process. Okay, so I changed it around. I think this is going to be the easiest way for you to see what I'm doing directly. So I think what I'm going to do is turn this around to face. This is the front side that you're looking at. What I may not cover up is this cool little stair step. I love that from the beginning I saw that. I thought it looked like a little stairway up to a mound. And you know, if we put this in something, I'll give it some creative name. You know, I'm all about putting on these elaborate names on my builds. I think that's part of my signature. Now, I've decided to go with, my first choice is the lightest one I said, that it came off of a rock. Because this is the one I really, really want to flourish. So my instincts are telling me, whether it is right or wrong, to first spray it down. And we're not going to have anything in this but this. So I'm just going to go with what's the most brown. And that's going on the back. Okay. No, sorry, little ant. You could not have access to the house. All right, let's turn it again. I need a workstation here. So yeah, I tried to fold these up very, very carefully. Because you can see, because it's on a rock, there's no dirt in it whatsoever. And I really just want, oh my God, can I say I just love that already? Yes, I can. I am totally, totally prejudiced when it comes to my builds. Okay, that is blinding me, so let's do that. Okay, that's better. I can see better now. I tried to get enough to where something just Something just moved. Yeah, right there. I think it's a little worm. Tiny if it is. I mean, it's tiny. Yeah, okay, we'll leave it in there. Live and let live. Okay, I'm gonna make sure it gets squinched together. Is that a word? Squinched? Oh, and if you guys would like to be featured in one of the posts as something I say about our subscribers. Oh, that's a different kind right there. There's 2 in here. That's different. Yeah. All right. Leave me a comment about something that's your favorite, and I'll put a shout out in the system. I'm all about shouting out. Okay. Get some of the stragglers off. But now remember, I do need this thick because I'm going to have to pick it up, put thread on it, and kind of like wrap it. I'm just going to wrap it in some thread. That's another plant too. Now, unfortunately, I did not get enough of this one to put it someplace else. Look at that. It's going to take all of this. Okay, what should I do with my stairs? Oh, there's a little worm dude. All right, you can stay in there. You'll grow in the... Worms can handle water and soil. Oh, I am not going to cover it up because it's too cute of a feature. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put, well, hang on. Did you leave already? Yeah, you left already. Okay. I was going to put you in a terrarium next to it. Don't have a very good piece. Okay, maybe, well, no. Well, that's interesting. We'll put that with another one. I wish I had a heavier one. I see a little bald spot. So when I say I'm going to wrap this, I'm literally going to take string and just wrap it all the way around it. I'm not going to be cute and try to make it, you know, not show. This is to keep this stuff intact so it will stay and hopefully act like an epiphyte and attach itself to the rock like the rock it was attached to. And no, I will not have to show you that on the video. I will just skip to the finished product. Because there are people out there that tell me how long it takes for me to get to content, which I think is amusing, but I'm all about the tutorial and telling the story. And I can defend myself on talking too much. I've had to do that all my life, all through school. Talks too much, talks too much, talks too much. Well, yes, that's right. I have a lot to say. Okay, so. Okay, there is a bald spot. No, there's not. Never mind. That's where my steps go. Okay, Oh, there's a bald spot right there. I'm not sure I can get something to sit right there on that curb. I can try. And you know what I could do is once I get the thread around it, is to go back in and just put some pieces in. Okay, so now you see what I've got. Power off and let me thread. Okay, that was way easier than I thought it was going to be. You can see there's like right here, there's the thread. You can see the thread coming in here. Actually, I had it sitting on, I needed some height. I put it on some coasters, and there's a coaster stuck to the bottom of it now with the thread in it. So I'm just going to leave that on there. It won't hurt anything. But this one is now ready to go. It looks cool. Let's see. All right. All right, let me give you another shot. So here's the front shot. So that's what it's going to look like. I'm going to put some water that's half from a tank and half RO. So it'll have some organisms in it to get it started, just in case. And then we'll just start the monitoring process. All right, let me get the second one set up for you. Okay, now we're going to go for the large punch bowl, and we're going to put the one that came with the big mass of dirt, and you can see it here. It's got a lot of soil with it. So I kept as much of it as I could because I wanted to see if we can keep that thick appearance, that thick carpet feeling to it. And I want to see how much soil. And now, this is my terrarium soil mix, which is on the website if you want it. I'm going to have to get it lumpier. Okay, yeah, like that. Be like that. I'm going to build it up on this back side, or one of its back sides. Okay. It may take just a little more. And the nice thing about it, remember when I do my thrifting, I set a very strict budget. I don't like to pay really $3 to $6. That's the most I like to pay. Okay, now if this works, I'm going to put some fertilizer in there. See. Every 5 to 6 inches. Well, that's not much. Okay. Start up here. Now, yes, I know this all may die, but I love experimenting. And if one of them happens to work, oh my, think about it. I mean, good heavens, we have babies breeding in tanks that are just 3 months old, which is rare. And we've got colors that don't exist. So I say we push the envelope. Okay, I put 2 kinds in this bag. That's the other one. So that's good. That's really, that's all I need. And that's about all. Okay, hang on. Let's do a little trimming. So now we're going to put some of my free gravel. You guys know I got gravel from my parking lot. That has been cleaned. Okay. I do want a rock in there too. I've got gravel or sand. Got the sand. You know what? I think I'll save the gravel for the other one. We could put sand in here. And hopefully this would just fill in a little. Looks like a bad science project right now. Okay. Swing it down in the crevice. That's good. All right, I can work on a rock for that later. So now, this is going to be the experiment for this one. So I think it's going to need a rock and maybe a rock that we put moss on. And we just see how the whole thing works. Now when I put water in that one, I'm going to do it really, really slow so that that sand will just seep into it because I don't want it to cover it all up. All right, next. Let's do this one. And we've got 2, okay, this one. All right, we're gonna go with this one. I'm just gonna do it at the bottom. I think I'm just going to put a little gravel in this one. This is the one that was growing on the back of the wood, so it was one of the wetter ones. And I had the idea, okay, I'll put the gravel in with it because the gravel's really fine and it can get into these little crevices naturally. I can just sprinkle it in there. Now, if any of this actually does work, can you imagine how much the shrimp would love crawling all over this stuff in a tank? Oh my gosh, I think they would love it. Now, some of this is super light. That's the only thing that worries me. I think that's why I'm going to use the gravel. I'm afraid it's just going to pop right up. Oh, I was going to say, give you guys, I was watching, while I was at one of my hotel layovers, I watched another video, and a guy on here was telling me that he never does water changes, and water changes are insane, and there's no reason why you ever should have to do a water change, and all he's testing, I think he said he's testing his water for its pH, and I was like, oh my God, okay. Number one, yes, you can get away with not doing water changes if you know what your water chemistry is to begin with. You really need to do a comprehensive, and I mean by that means the full API test and then the GH and the KH. If you don't know your GH and KH and you want to raise shrimp, you could be killing them without knowing it. If you don't know what your local water is, and what if they're treating it like mine with chloramine? And what if your ammonia levels are too high? That's what was happening in my tank. That's why I lost batches of shrimp. So you have to be really careful about the information you find out there. This is not an easy fix hobby. Now, I am fortunate that there are some subscribers on here that have amazing tanks that they do not have to do water changes in because their water is amazing. They're either getting it from a well or from a stream or an aquifer, or they're getting it someplace naturally, and they don't have the things in it like that you can put in a tank that causes your GH and your KH to creep up. And because I am doing everything DIY, I'm not buying rocks. I'm not buying the specialty wood that is used in the hobby. The stuff I have in my tanks creeps up GH and KH. So I will always have to do water changes. And that's okay, because I am wanting to have shrimp that are breeding before I put fish in there. So I just wanted to throw that out because I heard it and I thought, I don't like it when there's just someone on there that gets in there insane and says, that you don't ever have to do this and you're wasting your time and blah, blah, blah. It's not necessary, because it can be. Everyone's situation is different, and what everyone does to their tank is different, and that's okay. This is not supposed to be a cookie cutter. One thing works for everybody. I have tanks that can go like blackfish, almost 2 full months before its GH and KH creep up, that I have to do a water change in. And then I have my smaller tanks like Brandy and Pink and 3G that can't go more than a week because their water level is so much lower. So just that is food for thought. I just watched the video and I thought, I need to remind everyone about this. So don't beat yourself up when you listen to someone that says you don't have to do something, and then you trust that, and then you end up losing livestock or plants or whatever, because it happens. So I just want to caution everyone about that. And of course, if you ever have any questions about what I put on my channel, just let me know. I will tell you. Okay, love it. Oh my God. This looks amazing just by itself. I hope this really works. It is way too light though. I'm afraid it is all just going to come straight out of there. So let's get a little, I hope that the gravel doesn't ruin it, like the aesthetic, because I'm loving the way it looks right now. Oh, hello. Why didn't y'all tell me it's right here? I went over there looking for gravel. Here it is. Okay. Oh, This is so pretty. Okay. I don't know how much gravel to put in there, but I'm just going with what. Okay, it's a sprinkle, and that may need a rock. I'll run out of counter space, which is easy to do. Okay, 3 down. Oh, this dude. God, I love this vessel. Love it. It's so narrow. It is going to have just... I really need to put this last full-on carpet in it. I wonder... See that? See how thin that is? I don't know if I can get by with nothing underneath it. Okay, so I'm going to put... Here, let me borrow this. I'm going to put a little soil under. I can't trust myself that it's not going to need something underneath. Something small. Yeah. Okay. And let's do the same thing. Let's put in... Now, these are new tabs I'm trying out. Maybe just put 2. I'm only putting in here just in case this thing does take off. Okay, we're going to do something different on this one. We are not going to put sand or gravel. I want to see firsthand what really happens. I think what I'll do is put a little water in it, and then a little water, and just let it, slowly do its thing. I may end up liking this look. It'll be a cleaner look. Oh, wait a minute. You look like a completely different color. Are you? Oh my gosh, you kind of were. Does anyone else talk to themselves when they do their builds? I do. It's the best conversation I've ever had. Probably in the most intelligent, I bet. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to push this extra. Oh, there was some soil. Push some. Okay, that looks a lighter color too. Is it? Well, it must not be. It all came from the same spot. Okay. Just going to push that in there. Oh, no, you stay down. Oh, maybe I did enough. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. It's very light. Maybe I shouldn't have put sand in that one because I think this was going to look better. All right, so let's be done with that one. Now, on the other 2, those are going in terrariums. So what I'm going to do is put some water in this slowly so you can see what it looks like, and we can get the last visual on all of them. So hang on. Okay, so I tried to use my drip irrigation, what's that thing you call it? Drip application? I don't know, I'm doing something wrong to it. So guess what? Back to the turkey baster, which I use when I do my water testing. It's the best thing. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just get it all wet. Make sure it all gets soaked up. that have a nice little bit of water sitting in it. I don't want to disturb it really bad. My allergies are kicking up. Loving it. Am I inventing a new way to set up an aquascape? Maybe not. No, no, don't you dare. No. Oh, I think it just came up. Oh, do not do that to me. Okay, I'm gonna put my finger there. See if it moves. Okay. I just wanted to go to the very top. And this is my very scientific QT cup that I use for everything. Oh, I see. Okay, so it is coming up on the sides. It is not raising it. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. And remember, this is fully cycled water we are putting in this. So if there's any life going on in there, it has got a really good start with this. All right, I think for right now, I'm just going to put that much in it. So, okay, hang on. You guys can see that, right? Okay, I'm not going to mess it up. I think the one I'm going to mess up, oh, my allergies are killing me, is the one I put sand in. I think the sand one's going to be disappointing. All right, let's do this one because this one was the light one. And here. Let's see what happens. Let's see if this one floats. I know what you're thinking. Just pour the water in there. No, I'm afraid of disturbing it. Okay. Okay, because like the ones, the moss that I put on the sides is thicker than the mosses at the bottom. The moss on the sides came from the railroad ties. The ones at the bottom came from the flat part, so there's like not as much soil in there for them. And legit, you are turned upside down. There you go. Okay, it's getting to the base. Let's just risk it a little. No, no, no. We don't want to leave a hole. Okay, let's get some more water. What tank should we take it from? This is courtesy of the Oracle Stone Temple at Mount Zenith. Okay. Well, some of the gravel is super, super light. So yes, some of the gravel has raised up. I am still liking the look. I think I'm dreading the sand already. Okay. Okay, nothing is disturbed. Love it. Okay, there's this one. You can see how much water's in there. Okay, so the one that's on the wood, that's going to be the easy one to just pour the whole thing in. This one I am nervous about. If it starts to look crappy, I will abort. The last thing we want is a crappy looking sandy mess. Oh gosh. All right, here we go. Take bets at home. What do you think? Oh, nice. Okay, just go slow. Very slow. Good. Okay, if I can just get it to fill in so the black dirt doesn't come out. Oh, very nice. Oh, yay. Oh, it's like a little beach at the area. Okay. We can call this one beachfront. Okay, not bad. Let's wet all this down. See if we can get some of that cleaned up out of there. Oh, now that's not a bad idea. If some of this could wash down, it'll just look natural. Yeah, okay, that's even better. I can have it wash down some, like here on this. Oh yeah, see that? Did you guys see that? I'm just exposing it on the side. Oh yeah, let's do that. I'm all into this now. I'm not scared. I was scared. I'm doing this on camera and you know I don't edit. I made a promise I wouldn't edit. I'll let you guys see the raw, unencumbered. This is what really happens. Now, if I pour water in this, I can pour it on one little section and that's about it. Okay, look at that. Oh God, so much better. Okay, cool. I was really worried. I'm not worried now. There's a little gravel in there. All right, let's see if my theory is right. Yeah, excellent. You can pour it straight onto the carpet. Of course, it'll mess it up for a little bit, but that sand will just settle right down like it does in all the other builds. Okay. There we are so far. Now, once I get these guys set up in their location, then I can worry about getting their water in heavier. But for now, I'll give you a parting shot of when I finish getting all the water in all of them. So hang on. Okay, so I thought while I had the camera still here, I was going to do a little maintenance on this little dude, one of my favorite punch bowl. This is an open concept terrarium, and some of the things aren't like the rabbit's foot fern. It's just hanging on, but it's not really growing. The moss has died that was in here, so I'm going to pull it out. And a lot of the times the moss ends up being too wet because I use it to keep the terrarium plants more moist. And no, these aren't all terrarium plants. Some of these are succulents that I have picked up when I was on a layover in San Diego. Okay. And now these Petunias have done really well in open air. If you guys remember this one when I first planted it, it had, it was, I think I had it, yeah, wait a minute. No, it's always been open, but I put the cups, I used the cups of the punch bowl to cover up these little Petunias when I just planted them because I didn't know if they would make it or not. And they surprised me. They've done beautifully. Oh, and this little thing I'm messing around right here, this right here, that's a succulent from Mexico. This is a street plant from somewhere. This is the last succulent I have that's from San Diego. They ultimately die off. They don't like me. Okay, so hang on, let's take that one off too. So since we're doing a little maintenance, and I'm going back with, because I just love this look of this one. I just thought it was really, really pretty. So it's growing, has a beautiful green color. I saw it growing in sun and shade. So I thought, okay, part of the problem with mine is this thing gets about 9 hours of sunlight direct because it's under a grow light. So not all moss likes that. So let's see if we can't just clean this up a little bit. The soil that's behind it is fantastic. We don't have to worry about that. Okay. And this is just like we're putting a puzzle together. And the only thing I'm pulling out is maybe something that's too big or too bulky. I want the existing plant under it to be able to have full access to how it's been growing. So really this moss just adds a nice little layer, I hate to say this, for the plants just in case I overwater them. Because these have no drainage in them. I'm using antique punch bowls. And you know, what are you going to do with an antique punch bowl other than put a terrarium in it? I mean, I'm asking you that. What do you do if you have someone in your household that has a punch bowl and they don't know what to do with it? Some kind of slug, which we are not liking that. You are not coming. You're not coming to the party. Now, if this rabbit foot fern would just kind of take off a little bit more, that would be helpful. I need a bigger piece. So when I get these things, when I do find something I like this, I like to make sure I get enough so I can spread it around in case it doesn't live in one location, it might live in another. And that's my hope. I like this because it's got this beautiful black soil and it's not quite all covered in green. It's got different like little shades. So I just think it's just interesting. So with the Fetonia in here, and the ones I can't remember, other than the succulents I told you about. This is a rattlesnake, and it's a terrarium plant, but it has adapted very well to being outside a terrarium, so it's not in a humid location. This is a Rex begonia. It's also doing well because it's another terrarium plant that generally we know needs to have humidity. I'm going to have one tiny little one right, it's kind of hard to see. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. One tiny little succulent there left. Oh, no flies. Sorry. Saw a fly crawl out of there. No. Got a free ride from Seattle. That's as far as you go. So now, of course, this one I'm going to have to mist, which I always have, to make sure that these plants are going to stay alive. Okay, a lot of this is dirt, but no plant. Yeah, it's dirt. Okay, there's one. I mean, this is not bad. No. Yep. This little plant, succulent from Mexico, I've got it growing in 3 different places. I have it growing out of an aquarium, and it's doing well. And I have it growing in another terrarium that's partially enclosed, and it bloomed. It has beautiful little red blooms on it. I think this came from Lyon. Okay. Wow, I had everything I needed right here. Okay. This is what the succulents don't like. They don't like the way they come up and do this. But I want no, I'll do that off camera so you won't have to see that. Okay, let me go put this back in its place. What do I have left? Those few pieces. I have a place for that already. All right. Here is another little open air. Here's a little trash plant. Here's some more of that plant that I'm trying in the aquarium. You can see how it grows outside. Here's its moss that has not done well at all. This wasn't so bad, but since we have it, I'm going to swap it out. Give us some new moss. Oh, and there is a baby fern in there that's trying to grow. Oh, that's dead. Sometimes I just shove things in there, just see what will stick. So that's what, oh, wait a minute, I'm using this. So that ends up happening a lot. Now you can tell there's already rock on top of this. There's rock on here, if you guys will remember. I had a massive outbreak of gnats, fruit flies. I couldn't get rid of them. And so I had to start putting rock on top of all of my plants, the soil, to kind of help keep them from not breeding so much and keep the bug zappers on 24/7 because they were just having a field day in here. Okay, cool. Let's put some on the back side. You're right. There's another piece. It's funny, when I'm foraging for this stuff, I'm thinking, oh, did I get enough? Did I get enough? And usually it just works out. Okay, now, spray it. Put our mushroom back in there. By the way, that is a dried mushroom, but it doesn't stop it from growing fungus. And you can still find those in the winter. If they were covered up with leaves or something, they haven't been totally destroyed. Okay. It's like the accessory. Okay, this one I'm having trouble with. This poor dude, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to try and root that in some water. Oh, last one. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to go full on. Whatever's left goes in. Oh, maybe. Let's encourage this to. Okay. This green and white does very well in other builds. For some reason, not much does well in this one. Okay, there's a little fungus left over, and you know I have that wooden stuff. Well, that's just as artistic as you can get. I say so myself. Oh no, that's too much. All right, I can play around with that other stuff, but I know it looks a little drab. I'm gonna have to add a plant to the middle of it. Okay. Ta-da. It may not survive, that's okay. We can dump it all out of there. This one does not need any moss, because look at its begonia Rex is coming out all over the place. And I wanted to put ooh, how about this one? Is it too big? Oh no, it's not. Now there's a bunch of isopods in here, so they will love this. With that I just put this native fern in it, because those are little bitty ones. So we'll leave that. Give you a spray while you're out. This is the size of the bowl I wanted. This is a 3-gallon. And this is what I wanted, but I couldn't find, I'd have to go buy a brand new one. And you guys know I don't like doing that. I am not down with that. Okay. This one just needs an accessory. No. Okay. The dark one to bring out the darkness. Yes. How about going there? Oh, this is lovely. Yes. 3 for a little trident. Okay, all I have left are 3 sticks and some soil. So let me get cleaned up and we'll fill the rest up with water. Okay, I forgot something. For this one, I brought this, remember I got these little grasses. I just wanted to put them in there to see if these are ornamental at all. Because they do have other plants in there with it. Okay. Okay, that helps. It gives it a little more greenery. Something else to look at. And I forgot to save moss for my project of putting moss on the waterfall inside Desert Oasis, which is the firebox terrarium. So now I have no moss left for that. So that'll be another trip. Okay, perfect. Now, you guys have also just now learned how you can turn your kitchen into a potting shed and keep it clean if you do like I do, keep your Amazon packaging materials. That's what I use them for. That we don't have to buy anything to clean up. All right, now the full water, and we're done. Okay, as you can see here, sorry the lighting's a little dim in here. We are all now, we have the water up to the top of the respective little builds. In this one here, I did see the soil pop up. I am going to have to put a rock in there. You can see where it lifted up on that one side on the right. So it just lifted up a little bit. So it needs some weight in there. So either maybe one of those heavy sticks, or let's just go ahead and do a full-on rock. But that'll give you, this is where I'm going to keep these guys. They're going to be under this one light that I made here. It's not bright. They don't need it bright because they're not used to it being bright. And then I don't know yet where I'm going to keep this one because it's too big to put in the same spot they're in. But for right now, I'm going to figure that out, and then I'll start giving you guys the updates maybe in 2 weeks from now, and unless something catastrophic happens, and I'll do a little quick update. So thanks for hanging out with me. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.